Assalamualaikum to madam and my friends. My name is Alif Ibrahim Muhammad Noor. Today, I will present about my part but in this topic, which is topic 1.3, Science, Technology and Industrialization in 19th century. But first, let us see eh, about the 19th century. 19th century started from January 1st, 1801 to December 31st, 1900. At that time, it was known as the Age of Revolution. However, the Age of Revolution started at the end of the 18th century and end at the mid of 19th century. During the Age of Revolution, many things happened, like the French Revolution and Industrial Revolution. This is the period of change and development in social status, politics, economic, culture, science, technologies, and industrialization. And it is happening worldwide around the globe, which caused a massive change for the world, especially for the Europe. And one of the famous era during that period is the Victorian era, from 1837 to 1901, and it was ruled by the Queen Victoria. Why this era was so famous at that time is because during the Victorian era, British Empire became one of the most powerful empire in the world, and they are advanced in industrialization, technology, and science. And they are also have vast empire, which help them to become a developed and a powerful empire. Now, let's go to the science in the 19th century. What is the definition of the science? Science means any system of knowledge that is concerned with the physical world and its phenomena, and that entails unbiased observation and systematic experimentation. In general, a science involves a process of knowledge covering general truth or the operation of the fundamental laws. From my words, I can say that science is a kind of knowledge that need you to experiment it to find the evidence of it, because science need fact, not false. A fact knowledge, not false knowledge. So how does people at that time view science in 19th century? Before the 19th century, science is, is respected, is well respected, but there are some time where science is ignored by people, because before then people only think that science is only is a world thing and doesn't affect the afterlife, and they also only more focused on the religion during that time, before the 19th century. During the 19th century, people view science as a profession, and the theory of science was coined by William Whewell in 1833 to replace the old word for science. And it is known that 19th century is the age of science. This is the reason why the 19th century is known as the age of science, because there's many discovery of science during that period, like the Dalton atomic theory and modern periodic table, and all of this was discovered during the 19th century, and there are many more. Here are the three famous scientists in the 19th century that helped discover the sum of that thing that I show you. The people who take the chemistry must know John Dalton and Dmitry Mendeleev. Jonathan is an English chemist, physicist, and meteorologist. He is the one that founded the atomic theory. And Dmitry Mendeleev is a Russian chemist. He is the one that developed the periodic classification of the elements or the periodic table that we use nowadays. And for my biologist friends, you must know Charles Darwin because we just learned about him and his theory of evolution last week. He is the English naturalist, geologist, and biologist, and the one that discovered the theory of evolution, which said that humans come from the monkey, which most people don't believe it. Here are some contributions of science during the 19th century. The first is it improved the health of the people. Then it discovered the new knowledge, and sometimes the new knowledge help to to increase the understanding of the existing knowledge. Other than that new materials are also discovered which can be useful in the industrialization, and also the education are being improved because of this contribution of science. Now let us see the technology in the 19th century. The definition of technology is that the application of scientific knowledge to the practical aims of human life, or as it is sometimes phrased, to change and manipulation of the human environment. Here are some lists of the technology invented in the 19th century, like telephone, typewriter, aspirin, camera, escalator, TNT, and train, which was contribute so much to the people during that time and to the technology in this time. Here are some famous inventors in 19th century. Here, this is Sir Congreve Baronet. He is an English soldier who developed the Congreve rocket, which was used in the battlefield. However, his rocket are not so accurate, and they can't hit the target properly, which is a problem. And this is Johann Nicholas von Dresse, if I spell it correctly. He is a German firearm inventor and manufacturer. He is the one that invented the first breech loading firearm, or known as the needle gun. Talk about the needle gun. There's a video that I want to show you about the comparison between needle gun and the musket which was used at that time. So let us see them. And this is Joseph Lister. He is a visual surgeon who discovered the antiseptic surgery. The discovery of the antiseptic surgery helped to prevent the infection of disease and pathogen during the surgery, and also to prevent any death during the surgery. Here are some contributions of the technology during the 19th century. The first is the work become easier. Second, it improved the life quality. Other than that, the communication system was also improved with the invention of the telephone, and it take less time to travel to other place because the invention of train make it faster, and also it helped to improve the strategy on the battlefield. Now it is time for the industrialization in 19th century. Industrialization means the development of industry in the country or region on a wide scale. There are a few factors that led to the industrialization in the 19th century. One of it is the improved transportation and communication. Other than that, new invention and technology, new marketing and merchandising technique, and the last one is the agriculture revolution. Industrialization in the 19th century happened also when during the Industrial Revolution, which happened two times. Two times. The first one happened in 1760 to 1830, and the second one happened at 1870 to 1914. And my friends and have had already explained about these industrial revolutions. There are two types of industrialization: light industrialization and heavy industrialization. What is the difference between these two? Okay, heavy industrialization is the industry that involves in using heavy machinery and produce large-scale complex product, while light industrialization is the industry that involves in producing goods in small scale and is more customer oriented rather than business oriented, which means that it fulfills the need of the customer more than the need of the business. This is some example of the industry in the 19th century. This is the textile industry is the example of the light industry, and steel industry is the example of the heavy industry. Now let's see what is the effect of the industrialization in the 19th century. Well, there are two kind of effect: positive effect and negative effect. Let's start with the positive effect first. The city grew larger because of the migration of the people from the countryside, right, to the city. And why they migrate to the city? Because of the job opportunities. And also the goods production are increasing with the new invention and technologies that help the production become more faster and easy. And the managerial hierarchies are also developed to oversaw the workers and protect their need. And the are also increased because of the international trade within other countries. Now let's go to the negative effect of the industrialization in the 19th century. One of it is the child labor. Why child labor is a common thing that happened during this time? Because at that time, the poor parents think that their children doesn't need education, but they need to go to work. They need to collect the money for the family. Other than that, there are also pollution, because pollution like the air pollution with many factory that are built in the city, and also the use of the coal which a lot cause the production of the carbon dioxide in a large scale, and it polluted the air, which is very dangerous and make the city look like, how to say it, dirty. The air become dirty. And also the horrible living condition for the laborers. If you think that the laborers can get good life, well, yes, there are some, but if I go to the internet and see, it's horrible, because they live in a poor condition and full with disease, which some of them are dead. And also the dangerous workplace. The workplace like the steel industry, it can be very dangerous to the workers, because there are a lot of hazard at that place. And sometimes it happen because of the manager at selfish and doesn't care about their workers, only think about money, and they doesn't care about their worker welfare. I also almost forgot that I want to show you the reference that I've been using to make this slide and my study about the topic 1.3, which is about science, technology, and industrialization in 19th century. So you can see this is all the reference that I've been using, and this is all from me. Thank you.